Welcome to this week's Brittany's Bites, where we're already getting started with our cozy meal that you can make on a weeknight or a weekend. We are making Cowboy cornbread casserole, the 3 C's all coming together in this pot right here. And I decided to get things going. So I have a cast iron skillet. I just put in a pound of beef. You can make it with beef, turkey, a meat alternative like I am. Use a pound to a pound and a half. So I got that going with a little olive oil. You may not need that depending upon the fat content of the meat you're using, but to that, I want to add an onion. You can use a yellow or a white onion. Use a red onion also if you'd like, but I have one onion that's pretty large that I have diced up. I'm going to add that in. And then also I'm going to add in 1 bell pepper. I have a red bell pepper. You could use green if you'd like, yellow, orange. I'm gonna add that in as well, and then mix it up. And I want this all to come together and start cooking down a little bit before I start to add our other ingredients. Again, all in this one pot. So give me just a minute to do that. We're still getting that cooked down. It's coming together. You can see I have quite a lot of onions and peppers compared to my meat. I like that ratio just fine, but just be aware you may want to do a pound and a half if you'd like more meat, or cut down on the peppers and the onions. Do whatever floats your boat. So I'm gonna skip ahead to actually the final step to get it ready for when we put it all together. And that is, of course, we called it the Cowboy cornbread casserole. So we need the cornbread. We're making it easy on ourselves and just doing the blue box cornbread, right? So I already have it put into this little dish here. And to that, we just need to add 1 egg. I already got that going. And then a 1/3 cup milk. And I already have that measured out to make things easy. I always think that prepping ahead of time just makes things come together so quickly. And you're also able to sort of keep an eye on everything so something's not boiling over or burning here while you're trying to grab ingredients. So that is a little tip that I picked up, and I follow it religiously. Okay, we're just gonna stir this up, get it all combined, and this is what's gonna go on top once we get our ingredients in. I'm just gonna give this another little stir while I'm over here. It smells fantastic, by the way. I mean, what smells better than onion and then garlic, which we're about to add, and coming together? It just smells up the whole kitchen. It smells fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that I don't have any dry spots in here. It can certainly be lumpy. We know that, it's just fine. That is good to go now. All right, we're ready for this final step when we get to it. So we've got that cooked down pretty well. We basically just want to make sure that the meat is cooked through and that you have sort of taken down the peppers and the onions a little bit. So to that, I'm going to add 2 cloves of minced garlic. And you don't want to have this in there for very long because you don't want the chance of the garlic burning. So I'm going to stir this up. You can definitely smell it coming together now. So we haven't added, you might have noticed, any spices yet. We're about to do that because we want to certainly amp up the flavor. You could put in some salt and pepper during this step. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to add in some of our taco seasoning. So what I'm going to do now is it's going to be 2 tablespoons. This is not going to fit in here. By the way, you can just get those seasoning packets, but if you don't want to use the whole packet, it's nice to have this where you can just shake on and add to recipes if you want without using the whole thing. So that's why I have this. It's going to come in handy here. I'm going to see, and I can't really get that in there. So I'm just going to eyeball it and hope that it's about 2 tablespoons. And then I'm going to also add 2 tablespoons of water to make it all come together. So here is about 2 tablespoons. Keep on coming out. Okay, maybe a little bit more. All right, I'm just gonna get some water. As that is cooking, 1 tablespoon. And 2. Stir this up and combine it. We're gonna cook this just a couple more minutes, let it all come together, and then add a few more ingredients. Things are coming together, so now we're gonna add a few more ingredients. In fact, the final ingredients. So I just have a can of that diced tomatoes with the peppers. They have all different varieties. I'm using the hot because I love hot, but they also have the original. They even have mild, if that works better for you. You're not gonna drain it, you're gonna add it all in. Also, we're gonna add in a can of corn. And then you can add in, I would normally add black beans to this, but I went back and forth between black beans and pinto beans. And then I happened across a can of 3 beans, and it was a can that had black beans, pinto beans, and kidney beans. So that's what I got. I rinsed and drained them. So I'm gonna add those in and then mix everything together. I did add a little bit of salt because I felt like it was gonna need it. So now this is basically the entire dish coming together minus the toppings. So I'm gonna stir this together and get it going for just a few minutes, and then we'll be ready to put on the topping and pop it in the oven. All of the ingredients have come together now. It's smelling fantastic. So we just have 2 more, well, really 3 more things to add. So I'm gonna carefully, again, this is a cast iron, take it off the heat here, put it onto this. Make sure I don't burn myself on the hot plate there. And then we're going to add cheese, a whole bag of cheese. You don't have to if you don't want to, but actually let me make sure that I've got this all even before I add the cheese on, because then we're gonna put the cornbread on top of that. I love all of the colors that have come together in this as well. All right, on goes the cheese. So I'm just gonna spread it, spread it, spread it. It's gonna be quite a lot. This will end up being 2 cups. That's what comes in this bag here. And you can use any sort of blend you want. This is a Mexican blend, I believe. You can use just straight up cheddar, Monterey Jack. That would be great as well. I wanna make sure that I get this all the way to the edge. Again, careful not to touch the cast iron. Just spread it out with this. Okay, we've got that all spread out. We got that layer ready to go. Now we're gonna put on the cornbread batter. So it's really thick, probably because I let it set out for a little bit. So I'm hopeful that it will cover everything. I'm gonna try to spread it out as much as I can. This is quite a large cast iron skillet, as you can see. I think I'm gonna have trouble covering all this, but we will try. All right, I'm gonna keep scooping this out. Give me just a moment to see how much I can spread it around, and then we're gonna add one last little thing before we pop it in the oven. And by the way, the oven has been preheating to 350 degrees. It's all ready to go. So give me just a moment and we'll come back and do the final step. Okay, I have spread this about as good as it will go. I've made this in sort of a baking dish before, a 13 by 9, and that usually covers it. This is a pretty large cast iron, but I wanted to make it in the skillet this time. This is also an optional thing you're gonna do on top if you want, because I think it just makes it pretty. I have fresh jalapenos that I'm gonna sort of sprinkle along the top here just to make it pretty, and then we will be ready to pop it in the oven. That's a good one. Okay, maybe one more right there. Great. Okay, I'm going to carefully put this in the oven again at 350, bake it for about 25 to 30 minutes, and then it will be done and be ready for dinner. Our Cowboy cornbread casserole is out of the oven. It smells great. It looks great. As you can see, my cornbread topping actually spread out a little bit in the oven, so it's basically covering the whole thing now, and those jalapenos are still popping. All right, so we're gonna just scoop out a little bit, see how it all came together. The cast iron skillet is still very, very hot, so I'm gonna be very careful while I do this. Oh, but I can tell that the cornbread turned out just perfect. Oh, look at that ooey gooey goodness. Just serve it up right in a bowl like that. And you can leave it like this, or you can add a few toppings. Let's say maybe a little drizzle of hot sauce like that. And then I might add a little bit of sour cream like that. And then for garnish, one more little jalapeno. How good does that look? Here is our cornbread, or Cowboy cornbread casserole. 3 C's, say that 3 times fast. See, I can't even say it 1 time fast. All right, if you would like to see the full recipe written out, you can go online right now to WBIR.com. Cheers.